Okay, this is a discussion of the lesson plan template for EDC 240. So I'm looking at just basically the text I have. It's actually stored right now in a Google document. And so I have the text, and I'm just going to walk through each section and just kind of walk it out. And that way you have an extra kind of helper on this. All right, so the first section, name of the lesson, obviously it's something fun, it's interesting. The title should be a hook to your lesson, is what the instructions say. And I just put, as an example, all the examples are in parentheses, Polk and the Road to the Civil War. Maybe not that interesting and creative and fun, but it's a little bit of a depressing topic. The topic itself, put Polk contributions in pre-Civil War. So the key words to describe what the topic is. The course is U.S. history up to 1865. And so this is like the fifth grade course. And then grade level is actually fifth grade. For this lesson, the example I'm giving. Educational standards, national standards. For this one, this National Council for Social Studies. It could be whatever the math one is, was NTE, ME, or whatever it is, or CME, or whatever. So you got the math ones, you got the language arts, English ones, you've got science, you got art, you got music, you got physical education, health, and kinesiology, and all those types of things. And so feel free to grab the ones that are yours. Also here in the Virginia State Standards, since that's where we're functioning. The learning objective, it says list the learning objective. Put the objective in terms of student outcomes. Objectives must be measurable. And I gave an example. It's kind of a lengthy one, but given research materials on political events of the 1840s, the student will be able to cite and explain the four most important contributions James K. Polk's presidency made to the United States and discuss how these events contribute to the rise of the Civil War, citing all five components completely. So that tells you pretty specifically what this lesson is going to do. Then the technology integration. I have two in here. There's the web quest and there's online reflection, both of them. They're right here. And so I just kind of bulleted them out. You just got to make sure it's clear and it's there. If you're using PowerPoint to present something, then you have that. If you're using a Prezi, if you're having students use search engines, if you're whatever it might be. But the web quest is going to have some of that in there. Instructions. This is the direct instruction. Well, this first part here is direct instruction, but this overall says list the information and instruction in a clear and precise step-by-step fashion. Instructions must cover all learning objectives, including graphics, websites, worksheets, videos, and other instruction materials. You got to include all that stuff. You use the set, direct instruction, guided practice, independent practice approach. It's actually a pretty good way to go. You don't have to for my lesson, but it might be a good way to go. So the set, and I would explain this more. This just gives you an idea. So this is very brief. This is not long enough, but you need to write it long enough that I understand what you're saying. So addresses Polk and reportion of the speech. Well, I would also expect to see a link to the speech or which part of the speech. Is there going to be discussion on the speech? What kinds of things are you going to say? I mean, it's an inauguration speech, is what it is. And then the direct instruction, implement the web quest and have students identify the four contributions in their web quest. And then students report on contributions through jigsawing, which is where you get groups to become experts in one of the four areas, and then you mix up the students and they teach each other. Anyway, so and so I would expect you to describe that process in here, and the web quest could be added here as well. And I've got a very brief look at the web quest, which I'll do in a separate video. The guided practice, students compare the four contributions he made to other presidents in pairs. So I would expect to see kind of a description of the process here. Like step one, students are provided three other presidents. Step two, they're provided this form and they have to get together and look at the research materials. Step three, and they start recording information according to who's who and how they're different from each other. Four, they draw conclusions based upon the differences, that kind of thing. So you list out the steps here in order to give us a pretty good idea of what's going on. Do a comparison chart is what I suggested. And in independent practice, students work through the reflective questions, identifying the long-term impact of Polk's actions, impact on the rise of the Civil War, how things might have gone differently. Is there anything that the few presidents between Polk and Lincoln could have done to stop the Civil War itself? And so I would have formalized those three or four questions very specifically. Talk about how the students get onto Blogger or wherever they're going to go for this online reflection. Describe in detail how they're supposed to approach it. Like, is it a 2-paragraph, a 3-paragraph, a 4-paragraph? What are you looking for? That kind of stuff. And then finally, the evaluation. List the type of evaluation that will be used to measure the student objectives of the learning and ensure that the quiz, test, worksheet, whatever, measures the learning objectives. Rubric can be your friend here. So, like, you could create a quiz with short answers on each contribution and the silverware aspect. And so maybe it's 5 questions. Or it could be an entire essay, and the rubric could be used to help evaluate the essay. It also communicates to the students the expectations. So as you can see, this is kind of a subset of what is expected overall in Liberty lesson plans. It's really the core. I took out the character principle. I took out the diversity description, which kind of pained me to do it, but I wanted to keep it simple. So this really is just about the objective, the technology integration, instructional procedures, and the evaluation. That's it. So keep it simple, okay? Any materials that you have, try to include those as well. Okay, there you go.